Good morning. I'm on a bit of a coffee rush, so I'm going to talk about coffee. There's lots of debate about coffee and hydration, coffee and nutrition, coffee and sleep. So I wanted to touch some bases here, as far as is it bad for you? Isn't it bad for you? Coffee is a little acidic. Caffeine beans have been proven to be healthful for you in moderation. Um, and then there's a hydration debate with coffee. So my understanding with coffee and hydration is after about 3 cups, regular cups of caffeine or coffee, um, coffee is a diuretic. So after your third cup, it also has water in it. So once you get past 3 cups of coffee, each cup has about 150 milligrams of caffeine, then 150 to 200 milligrams, I guess. Then from that point, you risk dehydrating yourself more than the water in the coffee will hydrate you. That being said, I would never really count a cup of coffee as your total water consumption for the day, but I also wouldn't count it as a negative towards your water consumption for the day. Caffeine will always have an impact on your alertness. And it's got about a 6-hour half-life, meaning that if I just finished my coffee at 8 o'clock, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be half as potent as it was now. And then again at 8 o'clock tonight, it'll be a quarter as potent as it was now. And then by the time I go to sleep, the effects will be negligible. That's on average. So some people will definitely metabolize coffee more quickly, and others it might take longer for it to pass through them, and or have influence on them. Now, one of the big risks with coffee in general is the morning routine that goes with it, which often has a carb-heavy, loaded breakfast, or lots of cream, milk, and sugar, or added unnatural flavors in your coffee. All that stuff is going to be inflammatory every single time. You can add healthy things to your coffee, which will still add flavor. There's a debate on fat versus protein versus carbohydrates in your total nutrient intake, but what we do know is that when you're consuming fats, it doesn't really impact your insulin. So if you wanted to add some healthful fats, such as coconut oil, I know debatable as to coconut oil and its health value, or MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides, to your coffee to cream it up a little bit if you blend it, and then those would be options to give you a smoother palate on your coffee in lieu of cream or milk. And then it would also give you a source of energy if you're in a fasted state in lieu of something that impacts your insulin, which you could then slowly burn until you finally start getting real food into you, or solid food into you. From there, you definitely, because of the half-life of coffee, need to be careful about when your last cup is, because your sleep is so important. It's almost the most important thing you can do outside of breathe. So if you're disrupting your sleep because of when you're having your coffee, it's going to impact your next day. And setting yourself up for a win for your next day when you're drinking when you're enjoying the present moment, does make lots of sense. So I would say at the latest, 4 o'clock and earlier, assuming you're going to sleep by 10 o'clock or later, makes lots of sense. Now, if you're going to sleep earlier, you need to push that window of time for caffeinated beverages up even sooner, at the risk of disrupted sleep. Another thing you can add to your coffee outside of fats is a variety of different spices. My wife and I, Kelly, have added a bunch of things to our coffee over time, because we enjoy the flavor, and herbs and spices, you get so much bang for your buck as far as nutrition per calorie or nutrient density per calorie. So at this point, we are adding cinnamon, Himalayan salt, black pepper, turmeric, nutmeg, and some vanilla bean extract. All to our coffee. All of it's nutritionally positive for you, as long as the caffeine from the coffee is in moderation. You're going to be making steps forward in your health, as well as long as you're watching the timing of your coffee. Think about that as part of your coffee routine that might be sustainable. It may work for you, it may not. But you definitely won't know until you try to either control it or add a little bit of spice um, or some healthy fats to your coffee. And then always make sure that, like, if you're tired, the first things you need to ponder is, did I get enough sleep? Have I drank enough water? Is my total calories over the course of the month okay? And if those are all true, and or you enjoy coffee, then those are good reasons to have coffee in your early, the first half of your day. So my name's Al. I'm a trainer over in Scarborough. Feel free to reach out to me on either YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, or find my website at GoYourMuscleStudio.com, and I'll do my best to help you out from there. Thanks again. Have a wonderful weekend.